beautiful down there. Clouds.
Good morning. Just got up, got some breakfast as you saw. It was okay. It was a good breakfast. It just felt like you could go for seconds and thirds, but they didn't have that, so that's fine. I'm just gonna pack up. Well, the forecast is like the peak of the mountain is socked in, but there's some views right now from where we're at. So I think it's like 1.5 miles or something like that from here. So it's gonna take about an hour to get up there. And everything should be open by the time we get up to the top. Weather's gonna be windy. It's gonna be wet. Just from being in the clouds. It's not like actively raining, but it's going to be cold and it's wet, and the wind chill itself is going to be well below freezing, something like 25 degrees. So I'm going to be bundled up. It's going to be a really fun climb getting up there. And then I think the rest of the afternoon is going to be like increasing clouds and that kind of thing, and still just kind of windy and cold. So the rest of the, once we leave Mount Washington, it's going to be not so good conditions probably as we cross over the ridge. Not dangerous, but not optimal, just kind of miserable and cold. But we can chill up at the summit of Washington for a while. They're going to have like snack bar and stuff like that open, and we're not going that far today, so we got time to chill and that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get packed up, and we'll see when we start heading out. Okay, we're heading out. Trail heads out right from the lodge, Mount Washington summit, 1.4. This is going to be really fun because the wind chill is going to be super cold, and we are right at the cloud level, so these may be the only shots I get before we actually get to the top observation area. This is where the fun part starts. And then we'll get a quick look back at the lodge here in a second. There's some nice views here for right now. The last views we'll get for a little bit, maybe. And there's the lake in the clouds up here. It's more of a small pond. There's where the weather station is. We're right above the clouds, it looks like. You can see the top layer of everything. And here's the sign. There's no line for tourists up here right now. 2,688 feet, summit Mount Washington.
Even yesterday was not chilly.
Here's looking out to the north. I think that's the AT right there. And then the cog train tracks and the auto road. But it's beautifully clear right now. We'll be hiking down along the ridge and kind of looping down there somewhere in the valley, I think. Just one last overlook from the summit. You can see the trains heading out, people. And there's the ridgeline we're going to be following. Big U-shape all the way down. Let's get to it. There's the cog train tracks crossing over. I think we got super lucky with the view today because I thought it was going to be like totally socked in with increasing clouds. It may get cloudy later, but this is just unbelievable. Following this whole ridge line in a huge U shape all the way back down that way. Cog train's going back up. There's the station down there. This first peak of the day is Mount Clay, and we're just going around this one. I think there's only one summit left in the presidential range here that we actually go up and over. All the rest of them will be skirting around them. There's also looking back at the Lakes of the Clouds hut. We were there this morning. Next peak coming up is going to be Jefferson, and we're swinging around this one. Here's the split off to go to the summit for Jefferson, and Madison Hut is 3.2 ahead. So we're continuing on the AT going around. There's a lot of people up there doing the summit though. This rocky jumble of trails making it kind of slow going. But the next peak out there is Adams that we'll be crossing over. Okay, it's time to officially complain today. There's too many rocks. Rocks are my weakness. Too many twisted ankles. It's too slow going. The views and stuff are awesome. It's just, today in this whole presidential range is the rockiest it's ever been. And this is probably the least rocky area that I'm filming right now. Just had to get it out there. It's too rocky. Right now we're doing a little bit of a descent. We're skirting around the back side of Mount Adams up towards that way. And we're approaching the Madison Hut. And we're definitely gonna stop there, take a break. All things considered, I think we're making actually relatively good time. It's just these rocks are beating the hell out of me still. There's the Madison Hut, getting very close. Made it to the Madison Spring Hut. Got some pumpkin soup and bread, and then I'm gonna snack on the rest of my other snacks. Done with a nice break at the Madison Spring Hut, and ready to hit the trail again. So from here, we got one more peak to go over, and then it'll be a huge downhill, and somewhere halfway down is like the Osgood shelter site. We're gonna try to push past that is the main goal. I think that's 3 miles away from here, just about exactly. And then looking for stealth sites after that at some point, and that'll set us up pretty good to get into the Pinkham Notch Visitor Center for tomorrow morning and try to get breakfast there. So, heading back on trail. Shooting straight up Madison. Oh, okay. Coming up on the summit of Madison. This is the most precarious of the whole thing. There's where we're descending down that ridge line. Down, 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 down to the road. There's a look back towards Washington. definitely a fun rock scramble of a descent going down this ridgeline. All day has been fun rocks. And we can kind of see that next mountain range across the road is the Wildcats. We'll be on that tomorrow. That will be one of the last really rough areas, it looks like.
Be careful.
And this descent down Madison is just very technical and steep and slow going. We're just having loads of fun. But it's cool to stop and kind of just pan around. It's a beautiful day. It was supposed to get like increasing clouds throughout the afternoon, but we haven't had any of that. We made it below tree line. Coming up in a little bit is the Osgood tent site. I'm gonna look to skip that, I think. Look for a stealth site that gets us closer to the Pinkham Visitor Center for breakfast in the morning. So like first stealth site I see that looks, I wanna get at least a mile past the Osgood site, I think. And yeah, I'm dropping down as soon as I can kind of thing. My legs are done for the day. This is very, very rough. This descent isn't like too terribly technical, I guess. It's just like rocks everywhere and it's really long. So you're constantly like just slamming your legs down. And my knees are just done. My ankles are done. And I got like a couple more miles left to go today. Oh, I'm hurting. Definitely. Here's the split off for the Osgood tent site. We are skipping that place. Oh, and I think the AT continues this way. The Great Gulf Wilderness. And there's a stealth spot. I think this is gonna be it for the night. I'm about a mile past the Osgood site. I think this is about what I was looking for. I think I'm gonna get settled in. Alright, got my tent up. I'm just cooking up some dinner. I got the instant mashed potatoes with the tuna packets in here. Still not tired of it, still tastes really good. Munching on my few remaining candy bars that I got for today. And I'm gonna get straight into video editing because I'm already behind today. I didn't get anything done yesterday at the lodge. There's a nice little spot. The goal is to hike out. It's like 3.5 miles or so to the Pinkham Visitor Center. Rumor has it I can jump in there, get into the restaurant, get breakfast, similar to the Highland Center. I don't know if they do like a full-on breakfast, all-you-can-eat buffet, or if it's just like order stuff for breakfast. Either way, I'm aiming for a breakfast. So that'll be really nice. So, today was awesome. It was hard. It was a lot of rocks. My ankles and knees are just totally worn out. But it was a good day. I'm glad that the last couple of days kind of went the way they went distance-wise, so that today was only like 10 miles, but it was a rough 10 miles. So I'll check back later once I'm more settled into the tent and closer to sunset, I guess. But I'm just gonna eat food and then straight into videos. Okay, I'm pretty much settled in, done with everything, got chores and everything taken care of. I'm just going to go knee-deep into video editing, get myself caught up for the rest of the night, and go to bed, wake up super early, get into breakfast. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. I'm trying to get up and out nice and early so I can make it to breakfast at the Pinkham Visitor Center. It started sprinkling rain at like 1:20 or so in the morning. And it's only just starting to kind of let up a little bit. It's like, I don't know, 5:30 or something like that. So I'm going to finish packing. By the time I'm done and on the trail, it should be getting brighter outside. And yeah, it's only like 3.5 miles. We'll get into there, get some breakfast, and then reassess how far we're going to go today as we try to tackle the Wildcat Mountains. That'll be a lot of fun. Well, we just got a mile or so left, and the rain's pretty much stopped. But probably like a mile and a half back or so, there was a tree that was down, that was across the path. It was right at head height, and I didn't see it because I had my head down, and I slammed my head right into this down tree. I'm gonna have a really big goose egg on my head, and it hurts. It doesn't feel very good right now. Like, I'm okay, but it just hurts. Right now I just want to get to the lodge and get some breakfast. I think we're doing good time. The trail is really evened out nicely this last mile. But it was kind of rough this morning with the roots and rocks and everything. So we'll be there shortly. And we made it. We're at Pinkham Notch. This is the main visitor center. And it looked like they got full breakfast buffet, so we're gonna go in and see what we can get. Alright, we're done with our all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. That was pretty good again. And then right now I'm just chilling down in like their under basement type area with some other hikers and stuff, and people are drying stuff out, so this is kind of a cool little hiker chill spot. But anyway, we're thinking still pushing out and doing like at least 8 more miles or so up into the Wildcats and trying to find a stealth site up there. I just booked reservations, got good Wi-Fi and stuff service here, so I've got reservations now at the Rattle River Hostel. Total distance from here to there is like 24 miles, so if I get like 8 more miles today, that'll push us into a good distance. No, I mean it was 24 miles from where I stealthed, something like that, so it was only 20 miles from here. Anyway, last check of the weather, it looks like it's just going to be windy, no rain currently in the forecast, but there's low clouds and all the mountains are socked in. So everything's wet, and the Wildcats are going to be rough. It's going to be rough terrain like what we've seen. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll just have to take it slow and easy. But we'll probably be rolling out of here shortly and heading back on trail in a little bit. Alright, getting ready to disappear back into the woods. Carter Notch hut is 5.8. Definitely going to try to get past that by a couple miles at least. So I don't know where we're going to end up at. Stealthing somewhere tonight. And the skies are kind of clearing up a little bit. The only thing in the weather forecast was that it's going to be kind of windy. But I don't think it's going to rain anymore. This is Lost Pond, right before we start climbing the big hill into the Wildcats. And we just got to the start of the straight ups for about the next 2 miles or so. We gain about 2,000 feet of elevation. Okay, so here's another section where it's like straight up in this rocky crevice thing outcropping, and it's like, well, that's the trail, I guess. I ain't no rock climber, but that's where we're going. This is definitely one of those I can't do this with the camera out moments. We survived that little bit. But I heard the Wildcats were going to be a little rough going up. The weather's just cleared out and the sun's coming out. There's looking back at what we came down yesterday. The visitor center, Pinkham Notch, is over that way somewheres. Still got a long way to go till we get to the top. Well, we're starting to get as technically challenging as Kinsman was now, which is not a good sign. Presidential range was easy compared to this stuff. Kinsman was impossible, almost. And this stuff's starting to get really hard. It's very, very, very slow going. It started out just stair stepping, but now you're mountain climbing at this point. Here's the next overlook. Views are getting better and better. And the clouds are just lifting higher and higher. And there's the visitor center down there, Pinkham Notch. And so far I'm thinking this is the second most difficult climb I've ever done. Kinsman is number 1, and first Wildcat Mountain is number 2. I don't even think we're halfway up yet. Oh, popping out. We are not at the very, very peak yet, but we're close. It's like I could have taken the lift up this whole time. Yeah, no. This was much more fun. Yeah, I'd say this was just about the second most difficult climb we've ever done. That one was no joke. Wildcat Delta. Apparently the Wildcat peaks are all letter designated. Let's see what this one shows. Cool. Some of that might be coming up. I'm not sure exactly which way we go. I haven't looked in too far into the future, but I think there's supposed to be a fire tower up top. There's what's indicated in the guides, but maybe it was dismantled. You just can't see it. It's on the backside of that. But we'll keep on going. And this is the peak of Wildcat Delta. Just this little cool observation deck thing. A nice view back. The very top of Washington is just in the clouds. There's Mount Washington right there. Unfortunately, all day is going to be like this, I think. Just steep ups, steep rock scramble downs. It's very slow going. We're just under a mile from the Carter Notch Hut, and from here there's a big descent all the way down. Big in comparison to everything else we've done too, so it might be kind of wicked. And I think we'll stop in there for a break, because I'm only gonna plan on going like another 2 to 3 miles at the most, maybe past the hut. Try to find a stealth site somewhere that looks optimal. That should set us up pretty good for tomorrow. So far it's not bad, just stair-stepping down to the Carter Notch Hut. This I can manage. Alright, made it to a trail intersection. We're going to continue down the AT. The Carter Notch Hut will be 0.3 from here, and a short side trail. And I think it'll be a good opportunity to take a break there real quick. Check out their soup and bread options. Oh, this is a nice little mountain pond. And here we are.
Yeah, but we just.
Well, I got a brownie, coffee, and a couple of Snickers for the road.
Sorry, why did you say you like this?
Alright, we're heading out of the hut. As AT's that way. Zeta Pass 3.1. So, you were chatting with some other hikers. There's 5 others that I'm around, so 6 of us total. And everybody's talking about where we're all going to stay for tonight. It's getting later, close to 4 o'clock. There are no other huts or shelters or whatever within range, so everybody's going to be stealthing somewhere. And it's definitely going to be cold and chilly tonight. Maybe windy. So we're all rolling around what the safest option is going to be. Tucked in, some trees and stuff. This is one of those, like, you don't want to be on an exposed... Oh, crap! I'm alright. You don't want to be on an exposed ridgeline in bad weather conditions. So some people are going to try to push to Zeta Pass. I don't know if I'm going to do that far. This climb coming up going up Carter Dome is supposed to be pretty bad, like our initial climb on the first Wildcat Ridge out of Pinkham Notch. So it's gonna be slow going, and if it takes too long to get up here, I'm just gonna have to pick the first stealth site we come to. So that's my situation, but we'll see. Yeah, it's super steep. We're going like straight up, but it's stair-stepping. Stair-stepping I can do. It's not too terrible of a rock scramble yet. Nice overlook view. There's the Carter Notch hut just down there. There's the Wildcat Mountains we come over. Well, I think we're through the steepest bit. And it's, I mean, it's still rugged, but it's not as steep as it was, so that may be the worst of it. And if that's the case, I may just try to push further. We'll see where I end up. Just keep going until I get tired. Okay, made it to the top of Carter Dome, and that hill climb was way easier than we were led to believe, so that wasn't bad at all. Right now I'm thinking continuing to Zeta Pass, which is only like another 1.5 from here, and checking that area out. There's some stealth sites on the way, so they could tempt me, but right now I'm good to keep going. Here's the summit of Mount Height. It's cold and windy, way too exposed up here. Alright, we made it to Zeta Pass. There's a nice little stealth site here, and I'm just going to sign off here in this clip, I think. It is cold, it is wet, so changing into some good dry clothes. I'll be fine for the night. It's kind of that point where it might get close to freezing, so sleeping with water filters and all that's a good idea. My tent and everything's wet from yesterday still, so hopefully that doesn't ice crystallize. We'll see what it all looks like in the morning, though. I'll be bundled up and okay, so it'll just be a nice cold night. But I'm going to get food going. I got to edit videos and stuff for tonight, so again, I'm just going to sign off here. So it's been a nice, fun day, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.